I'm going to tell you about the best, most underrated mascara that is so versatile. We're going to get right into it. I'm Helen. I'm a writer. I've written about all my favorite makeup picks. I've got an article. You can look at it right now. You don't even have to download it. I'm going to put a link up in all the places you get links. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter, helenavery.substack.com. Okay, I'm also going to talk about how to curl straight Asian eyelashes, because I know that this is an ongoing concern for us who have straight eyelashes and not very many of them. And I'm half Asian, so I can speak to this. And I do sometimes get questions like, are you sure? And it's like, am I sure if I'm half Asian? Listen, yes, I am sure, but also, is it so far-fetched that I would be half Asian? For heaven's sake, it's not like I'm a strawberry blonde with freckles everywhere or something like that. Yeah, people are strange. But anyway, first let's talk about the mascara, because I feel like that's why you clicked on this. So thank you for doing that. It is No.7 Stay Perfect mascara, and it doesn't say that it's it does say it's tubing, Longwear tubing mascara. I feel like tubing mascaras are not that popular, but they should be, and here's why. If you're like me, sometimes you'll wear mascaras and they kind of flake and they leave like detritus here, which is not the vibe we're ever going for. Or the other big problem with them is that when you put them on, you can't get them back off again. So actually, the number one best mascara type to use if you want to keep a curl in your lashes has to be waterproof mascara. There just isn't any way around that. The reason for that is because let's say you add a curl. So you curl your eyelashes with your eyelash curler. And these formulas that are not waterproof have more water in them. This is how I understand it anyway. And that means the water just takes the curl right out. But waterproof is formulated in a different way, because obviously it has to be waterproof, so it's not formulated mostly with water. Again, I'm not a cosmetic chemist, so I'm just speaking to this as best I can. But because of the way that those are formulated to sort of repel water, they do not add water to your curl, so then your curl stays. So those sort of the basic reasoning behind why waterproof mascara is better than this. This is theoretically not waterproof, but it is. If you just splash water, it doesn't come off. You actually need to activate it with soap as well. And when you add the soap, that's when the tubes form, and that's why it's called tubing. It forms these tubes around your actual eyelash hairs. And then when you use a cleanser and water, the combination of those two things make the tube slide right off. So it's just very easy to get this off. And that's why I love it, because I just don't want to have raccoon eyes throughout the day. And then after I've taken off my makeup, have to like use tons of like makeup remover to get rid of the rest. So you don't have to do that with this. You're not left with like rings around your eyes. What you are left with though is sort of an alarming ring of eyelashes inside your sink. So be ready for that. That's not your actual eyelashes. That's just the tubes coming off. So once again, No.7 Stay Perfect Longwear Tubing Mascara. You can get it at Target. You can get it at, I think I've seen it at CVS. I'm sure you can purchase it from Amazon as well. Just make sure you're getting a legitimate one. And if you're in Canada, you cannot readily purchase this. I think that you can maybe purchase it from Amazon for an increased price, as always. But again, if you're in the US, definitely worth picking up. And I'm sure there's a way you can get it across the border if you're here. I would suggest maybe if you've never tried tubing mascara, just purchase it from somewhere that they accept returns. You know, if you don't like it, I don't want to be on the hook for you hating this mascara. So No.7 Stay Perfect does not come in a lot of shades. I think it comes in black and like a brown black, but I mean, what other shades do we really need? I don't think I've ever met anybody other than a makeup artist who needs like 7 different mascara colors. We're almost always going for this sort of inky black, which is what this one is, or the sort of brown black, especially if you're fairer in hair color, complexion, or you just like a lighter shade of mascara. Let's have a look at it when we open it up. So here we go. Look, I'm gonna do the whole real YouTuber thing, even though I'm using my iPhone camera, because I sold my YouTuber camera, so it doesn't do that autofocus thing, but if I put my hand here, it's easier to see the brush anyway. Have a look. It's just a nice little straight brush. You can see that this is not for volumizing really, and so that is maybe one of the cons of this mascara, to be completely honest. It doesn't add a lot of volume. It really doesn't. But here's the great hack about this and why I say this is really versatile. What you can do is you can use it as a primer. So you can use it there, let it dry. It will create those tubes around your lashes. And then you can put, in my experience, any mascara you want over it. So if you want that big, fluffy, thick, almost even clumpy look, you can still get it and you'll still get the effect of tubes. Does that make sense? So it will still tube off at the end of the day when you're removing this with your like cleanser and your water. And and you can get a bigger look. I've got a little bit on here and you can see it's not, but I don't have a lot of eyelashes. So listen, you need to be realistic about the effect that you're gonna get. What I just have now is slightly curled lashes. I don't know how well you see them because once again, this is just my iPhone. This is not a really good you know, high-end YouTuber camera. I'm a really strong believer in reading the actual fine print on bottles. So we're gonna see what it says here and I'm gonna tell you whether it lives up to these claims. Okay, it says smudge proof and flake proof for whatever life throws at you. That is true. It doesn't smudge and it doesn't flake and it doesn't come off during the day. Lashes are separated and lengthened from root to tip for definition. So yeah, it's honestly the most subtle look. Washes off easily with warm water. Eye makeup remover not needed. Yeah, that's true. Suitable for sensitive skin. I don't know because I don't have sensitive skin, but if it says that, yeah, I would believe that. There's nothing irritating or anything like that about it. I use it all the time. And I've never had any irritation or anything like that. Now, a word of warning against other tubing mascaras. There are other tubing mascaras out there. This is not like a super popular type of mascara. Tubing is just a really small segment. Like most of the brands make just one type. Some don't make any. There's one at Sephora called Blink, I believe the name of it is, and it is not good. So if you were asking my recommendation, I would say don't buy that one. It's not worth the money. It flakes for some reason and it just is really wimpy. I don't like it at all. Actually had to return it, which I try not to do, but that one had to go back. This one is just my holy grail. I've been using this for, I'm gonna say 10 years now, maybe a little less than that, but it never disappoints. Let's move on to curling your eyelashes so that it stays for the day, especially when you have really short Asian eyelashes. Listen, you just don't have a lot of eyelashes to begin with if you're like me, and so you need to be realistic about the look you're gonna get. You're not gonna get a big fluffy looking eyelash because you just don't have that many eyelashes to build off, but you know, you can improve what's there and you can definitely curl them if you want to add some fake lashes, or maybe if you don't want the full strip, just the little chicken feet looking one that I just have a few on there, you want to add those to the end. You'll still probably need to curl your lashes so that they sit nicely as well. So this is what you need. You need a good eyelash curler. Please do not buy a cheap one. This is worth the small splurge that it is. I like the Shu Imura one. I've had makeup artists use this on me, not that I get my makeup done that often professionally, and you'll just find many makeup artists swear by this one because it just works really well. It's very simple. It will never break. And it does not, most importantly, rip off your eyelashes. That's why you don't want to use the cheap ones because they don't have good cushion. Like very often the cushion is not well made. So if your eyelash is over here, it will just tug it right out. So generally you will not have that problem. And just a word to the wise, I don't know if you know this, but the little black pad here does come out for cleaning and replacements. So you get replacement pads, or you can just clean this one up if that's all it needs. But this, you have to look at it though. So make sure that before you use it, you always look and make sure it's got no cracks in it. Because if it has a crack in it, in this little black rubber piece, it will rip your eyelash off. And that is not fun. If you have straight eyelashes, like I do, the first thing you want to remember is that you need to curl in 2 spots. So you're not going to be like your friends who already have like curly eyelashes maybe, or already have big thick lashes. They only need to crimp it like in 1 spot. Your life is going to be 2 curls on each eyelash. I'm gonna show you what I mean. So first you're gonna wanna grab the tips of the eyelash and you're just gonna wanna curl that, the very, very tips, right? So not too close to the base of your eye. So once you've done curling it, I mean, you'll wanna curl it for longer than I just did, but we're just doing this for demonstration purposes anyway. And then your next one, you're gonna wanna kind of really get it up close to the base of your eye. And so you'll wanna just give that a good crimp. And you know, so long as you haven't got any skin, which you shouldn't, especially with this shape, you just give it a good squeeze. You can really, I'm kind of pumping it a little bit. You can press it pretty good and then slowly release it. There you go. I don't know how visible that is, but it did do a little bit of a curl, right? It's definitely, they're bent up. If I really wanted to keep them perfect like this, you would need waterproof mascara. There's no way around that. But that's not my lifestyle. So I use, again, this mascara. And what I do is, I mean, everybody has a different way, their own way of putting on mascara, but I like to angle it out, which is a tip that I learned also from a makeup artist. Oh my gosh, speaking of eyelashes, I have one there. Does that make sense? So instead of going zoop, 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 you go out, out, out. When you don't have a lot of lashes, that can actually help kind of angle them here and make them look wider and uplift your eyes. So there you have it. That's how I do it. Is it perfect? Is it fluffy? Not exactly. but it is good enough for, you know, the 1 minute that it takes to put it on. Those of you who followed me for a long time here know that I went through chemotherapy a long time ago, and my eyelashes and my eyebrows were gone, and they're still gone. These are sort of painted on. I don't have much underneath there, but I never had a lot. Being, you know, half Chinese, I never had a lot of eyebrows to even begin with, and I didn't have that many eyelashes. I had more than I do now, but the eyebrows did not really grow in, and they kind of pretty much completely disappeared with chemotherapy, but I still always had a few eyelashes even during that time, so that was funny. I had like maybe 5 lashes on each eye, and you get a lot of stuff stuck in your eye when you don't have any eyelashes, so that really sucked. So they did grow back to some degree, but they're definitely not as much as they were. So, you know, I'm just trying to do the best that I can. I find that just wearing thick eyeliner actually sort of makes you look like you have more eyelashes, or makes that area look denser. So I've got a previous video or an upcoming video. I'm actually not sure the way that these are scheduled right now, but I will be talking about my Holy Grail eyeliners. So make sure that you watch that video at some point. If not now, then subscribe and you'll see it in the future. I find that putting on thick eyeliner really helps to add depth and density to the way that my lashes look. And to be honest, I've always worn like cat eye eyeliner, and I continue to do so. And it really does help when you don't have a lot of lashes. I know that I've been mentioning my Asian heritage here a number of times in recent videos. I'm really proud of it. I'm really, really proud to be half Chinese. And sometimes it's hard to say that in the sort of political environment that we're in right now. But as much as you may not like the politics of the Chinese government, Chinese people are awesome, okay? I am one of them, so I just want to put that out there. Not to mention, in the realm of anti-Asian hate, which is an ongoing concern, this is something that I just want to speak up about. This is important to me. It is part of who I am, part of my identity. So I am committed to talking about it when it's pertinent, as it is in this case. Here's a link to my most recent video. I hope you give it a watch, and we'll catch you on the next one.